Thank you, Ted, for having me. Nice to be here. So I'm going to read an excerpt from the short story, and it's called The Short Story. And I'll read it's one sentence, and then the rest is a long footnote, but it's all followable. And I think it follows the theme of witness. So, as gently and kindly as possible, I'm insisting that you take me seriously, even though I did not, unfortunately, obtain a permit to write a story in a coffee shop, much less use that coffee shop in the story. The short story, Ms. Narrative It, the tight little number between a lyrical poem and a longer tale, a novel, a long story. She's wearing furs from another era and torn jeans from ours. She's high-stepping in platform shoes from the disco age and sporting a diamond necklace from Maupassant's Paris. I'm on a date with her, you know. I'm sorry if you expected more pizzazz in our outing, a more fun time like a good romance should be. Oh, she slapped me, but I'll survive, culminating in a grand climax. I blew it. I couldn't maintain the lusty strokes of a nasty world made better in color, fictive color. I couldn't compose fiction without resorting to the greatest fiction of all, my real life. I cried at the keyboard before I punched the word in. It's impossible, isn't it, to make things up in good faith? I'm afraid I'm a bad liar after all. I'm only good at lying about me when I'm me. I'm done. The man I wasn't isn't able to exist anymore. I'm such a loss to the global community. I'm an errand boy for the news that counts. I'm an unacknowledged legislator of the world. But I don't have a platform. It's all about a platform, isn't it, I ask? See, platform. I'm going back to the halcyon days of my fabled boyhood, like yours, a dream, when we improvised with cheery fortitude. I'm doing things Mexican style, out of a beat-up old pickup, tossing in this and that, using whatever I can. Yeah, use it, roller skate wheels. I'm building a platform like you've never seen. It's like a thick deck with inlaid tiles from different projects, all of them kind of low grade but classy too. The kind of platform you'd want in your backyard if you needed one to stand on and practice great rolling speeches, unplugged, because the cord didn't reach that far and the microphone didn't work anyway. But the platform stood. Damn right it did. This state-of-the-artless platform doesn't compare in platform technology to the latest, most advanced ones, already taken by the platform makers themselves, all fancy and shit, those platforms. I hear they even introduced post-electrical modes of communication, Wi-Fi or something. Who needs it? This platform does it all. It's a randomly assembled miracle of high wetback ingenuity, like we point at incredulously and deride, right there in southeast LA County, in the industrial labyrinth, Chicano big shots, but laughing lovingly at the same time. Look at that fucking thing, my suave your mother on an ironing board. Put some skinny wheels on it and call it a draw with a sick lowrider. At least it's something. What do we got? Hair on our chest? You don't even got it between your legs. Oh, fuck him up. You guys built it, man. Shut up. Hey, it's got wetback views, man. He works hard. Open up the gates of my goddamn borderless heart. I've tapped the source of memory and love. I've brought my ingrained Mexican dogs of shame to heel and called up a fat lump in my throat for all the illegals struggling to survive in the USA after the hard, excruciating labor they've done and the ridicule they've suffered and the criminality of their own government. And let's face it, for the excellent craftsmanship of their unsightly platform that doesn't bend, bow, or break despite its haphazard appearance. On the side of it, written in cursive Spanish and upright English and the ancient Aztec tongue, Muado, with its picture of words, runs, born free wherever I am, hope. I'm dancing around my table without too much fuss, pretending I'm looking for something. I'm containing volcanic energies or a nervous breakdown, you call it. But it's a time of rejuvenation. Because we got nothing, we can only fill up or die. But we're not going to lose our dignity no matter how much money we have or don't have, no matter if our clothes are worn to threads and our stomachs are growling. We're not going to hurt people or prey on them. The poor are not our enemies, if you haven't noticed. My great-grandfather apparently had a touch of eloquence and toughness to spare, obvious smarts, and wiliness. herding su familia through the terrors of Mexico with a pistol stuck in his waistband that he didn't hesitate to use more than 100 years ago. Supposedly, he stood up to a rich rancher, a hacendado, with a straight back and unwavering eyes. He wanted to be paid fully for his week of work and for the patron to mind his own business concerning the women of his family. They were poor people with nothing to offer the rich like them, nothing. They say he had a scary stare, just unafraid when he felt slighted, threatened, or abused. He got an eviction notice at the end of a long rifle in the middle of the night, forced to pull his family out of a burning shack and round up the rest in a hurry. But we don't dwell on that embarrassing eviction anymore, only mention it parenthetically as a humorous possibility. We've come to own the hacienda. I believe that same branch of my illustrious forebears reserved the fabled carriage that Maximilian rode to his coronation only yesterday, bumped right over the border in it. It's no surprise then that many of us despise the migrants coming over, never having really known them. I'm sitting across from a Mexican-American worker in a MAGA cap. He's roughly my age, my generation. He's pleasant looking and relaxed. And over his shoulder, our great-grandparents loom, hauling stuffed pillowcases over the border. And behind them, many, many more come. Revolutionary Mexico burns behind them. 1910, 1920 fills California with desperate Mexicans looking for work and finding it. They come and they come. Times were different. No migra swept down on you and demanded ID. No border patrol agents even existed in a border zone. You trudged past a sign and you were in. You were legally able to work in the United States of America. Your children born on native soil were Americans. Gradually, everybody forgot about the damn border because it didn't really exist for you ever. It wasn't part of a hardship at the end of one, the journey. So things have changed. But the imperative to move on and survive in a better land originated in the same kind of misery driving people north now. I don't know squat, except I'm not to judge anybody. I'm not a die-hard liberal blind to the downsides of illegal immigration. I'm a man in a coffee shop in America, breaking a great story rule directly, saying too much overtly, opinionating, politicizing, blurring the line between art and life. Well, I just don't care. I'm a memoirist with a fictional bent. I'm a concerned citizen. I'm a hurt, broken man. I'm a freak of postmodern nature with a chip on my self-conscious shoulder, impeding my every move, wanting to add to the world's beauty in my own tortured way, and expecting I can. Slice me open at the top of the pyramid. Trust me when I say the gods are speaking through me. Yow, Aztecs, Mystics, People-tecs, notice your feathers are from the same bird. So thundered the voice in my ears, dying to the din around me, closing up my laptop. I awaken on a slab of stone. I smear blood on my face, or is that just a napkin I'm wiping sweat with? I sit up straighter. I keep hands poised over the keys. What do you say, you? And the voice booms out, love like there is no tomorrow, because there isn't without it. I'm looking around. Did anybody else hear it? Are they all deaf or something?